This is a chair yoga class, so I invite you to get comfortable in your chair, whether your chair is a little wooden situation like I have going on, which might be a little more challenging to get comfortable in, or maybe you're sitting on your couch or your chair at the office, and find your feet. So that might involve just lifting your heels and toes a few times, or wiggling your toes and feeling the surface underneath the soles of your feet. Maybe that's the inside of your shoe or your socks or the floor underneath them. And then whatever other surfaces are in contact with your body, maybe underneath your hands, your seat, begin to notice those surfaces and allow your body to feel that support. And if you're in a place where you feel comfortable closing your eyes, then I invite you to do that too. As you notice the surfaces supporting you, allow your body to become a little bit heavier, kind of sinking in and really feeling that support. You might notice your shoulders dropping away from your ears. And then noticing the placement of your hands. Maybe your hands are resting in your lap or on your knees. I invite you to leave one palm down, feeling the surface underneath your hand, kind of a grounding, and then turn your other palm up. So this would be a receiving type of position or an invitational position for your hand. So we'll do one of each, see how it feels. And if it doesn't feel like something that you want to keep, then let go of that. And that goes for the rest of our time together. If there's anything that does not feel comfortable to you or your body just isn't agreeing with, then feel free to skip it, to leave it out. And as we ground down with one hand, and we invite reception, and we have our other hand open to receive. Let's take 5 good breaths here. You might notice as you breathe where your breath is sort of hanging out this morning. Maybe it's in your upper body, maybe it's a little bit lower, your front or your back body. And right now, there's really no need to change it. We're just going to observe sort of where our breath is coming from. And if you were counting out your 5 breaths, you can not worry about that so much. And just return to a more natural position for your hands, whatever feels right. If you want to stay one palm up, one palm down, that's just fine. And then I invite you to consider just for a moment one thing, it might be in the past, the present, or the future, one thing that makes you nervous or anxious, or you could say one thing that scares you. Doesn't have to be a 10 out of 10. It might just be coming to this class and meeting me for the first time. I know that that makes me nervous to teach to new people. And then one thing that you're grateful for. One thing that makes you anxious or nervous or scared, and then one thing that you are grateful for. And then when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Find some movement in your hands or your feet or both. And then let's just kind of shake things out. So I like to do this brushing type of movement across my body. And sometimes I'll just think off my body, off my mind, right? So I'm not worried about what my thoughts were just now or that past movement that I did. And feel free to do this at any time during our practice together. If something just felt intense and you need to let it go, off my body, off my mind. All right. So again, my name is Beth. I don't know if we'll cut that part of the video off or not. And I'm here to teach you some chair yoga. And thank you all so much for having me today. Again, if there's anything that we do, feel free, that doesn't feel comfortable, feel free to leave it out or skip it, whatever works for you. All right. So let's bring our feet and knees a little bit closer together. So we have our feet and knees about hips width distance apart if they weren't already. And then we'll come up, I'm going to scoot my chair back a little bit, but we'll come up to the front edge of our chair with our pelvis or our sit bones so you can feel that support underneath you. Let your arms hang by your sides for a moment. Soften your shoulders. And then as you inhale, let's reach the arms up and over. You can look up if you want to. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach forward this time with your fingertips. Maybe your head turns so that you're looking towards the floor. And then exhale, draw your hands in towards your shoulders. Again, inhale, sweep your arms up. Big breath. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep forward. This time letting your shoulders, your spine round, maybe your chin even tucks. Exhale, bring your hands back in towards your shoulders. One more time, big inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart. Fluid movement. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, hands to your shoulders. My body, off my mind. Okay, let's do a little bit of side bending. So I'm just going to let my left arm kind of dangle here. As I inhale, reach my right arm up and over. If you want a little more support, you could take your hand to your thigh or to the chair. Take a good breath here. And then we'll inhale, come back up with both arms, reach up, feel the sides of your body get long. And then exhale, right arm dangles, left arm reaches over. Or again, find that support and take a good breath. All right, let's inhale to come back up. It's okay if we don't go at the same time either, obviously, right? Inhale, look up, reach up, sides of the body feel long again. And this time, as we exhale, we're going to let our arms come down about halfway, and then we'll take a twist to the left. So I'm going to turn this way, but you don't have to turn. Twist your arms first. And when you find that spot that your body says that's enough, then that's enough. And then maybe your head follows, looking back towards your left hand. Find your breath here. And then you might lower one hand to your chair, one hand to your outside leg or your left leg. Inhale, get tall again. And then exhale, twist a little bit more if you like. One more breath. And then we'll unwind slowly, coming back to center. And take a moment to pause here in the center and just feel what you feel. When you're ready, we'll go the other way. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms come down halfway. Again, I'm going to turn to the side, but you don't have to. We'll twist to our right. Arms first. Soften the shoulders, and then look back towards your right hand. You might notice that your head wants to turn further on this side, or maybe a little less. Maybe you see less of that hand on this side or more. And then when you're ready, right hand down to your chair, left hand over to your right leg. Inhale, get tall again. And then as you exhale, if you want, if it feels good to you, you might twist a little bit more. And then slowly unwind, coming back to center with your upper body. Take a moment to feel what you feel, to shake things out or brush things off my body, off my mind. Let that twist go. All right, let's sit nice and tall. We'll do a little bit of cat and cow here, but I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see me. Again, you don't have to turn. I like to let my arms be a little bit free when I do this in a chair, but you could take your hands to your knees if you'd like to. So we'll inhale, we'll bring our hearts forward. You might feel your tailbone untuck. And if it feels all right to your neck, you can look up. And then exhale, we'll go the other way. So tailbone tucks, spine rounds, maybe arms reach forward, and chin tucks towards your chest. A couple more times just like that. We'll inhale, heart forward, feeling nice spinal extension here with your neck too, if it feels okay. And then exhale, find that flexion, tailbone tucks, arms reach forward, chin towards your chest. Last time. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, back of the heart reaches behind. And then slowly come back up to your nice tall spine. Pause. Reconnect with your breath. Again, if you want to brush that off, let that go, feel free. And we'll move right on to what sometimes I like to call monkey stretches. We'll start by taking our monkey paws up towards the sides of our ribs, sitting nice and tall, and then just dropping one hand down, reaching up with the opposite elbow. And again, if you like, you could look up. And then we'll switch to the other side. I like to use my inhale breath to switch, and my exhale to reach my hands down. But if there's a better way for you to breathe, or that you feel better breathing, then that's fine. Let's do one more each side. Maybe reach that top hand up this time if you want. Hands back to the ribs, and then other side. And then releasing, coming back to center. Again, brush it off, shake it off, whatever feels right. And if you just want to sit in stillness and pause in between two, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, let's step our feet a little bit wider than our hips now. And I like to come up a little closer to the edge of my chair for this part. If sometimes when I teach, my booty ends up kind of walking itself back. So Reminder for me, reminder for you, sitting up a little bit towards the edge of your chair. Hands to your knees this time. We're going to make some circles, some big circles with our upper body. So you can start small if you want to. And you just pick your direction, whichever way you want to go. Maybe your circles start to get a little bit bigger. Noticing how your hips are feeling this morning. Of course, that usually depends on what your activity's been like already. Switch in your direction when you're ready. And then we'll make our way back to center. Pause and feel. Brush it off if you want. Step your feet in, heel toe a little bit closer. And then let's take a forward fold here. So if forward folding is not going to feel the same for everybody, and so there's different ways to do it. So I'll turn to the side here. Let's inhale and reach up. And then as you exhale, we'll start to come forward with the spine. And here's where you can decide, do you want to support your self with your hands to your thighs or your knees? Or if it feels good, maybe you come forward a little bit more. Maybe you bring your hands down, support yourself by holding your ankles or your shins. Or even if you have a book or a block available, or even fingertips towards the floor. These are all good ways to forward fold. Take 2 breaths in your forward fold. And if your head is gently dangling, you might gently move it yes and no. And then use your hands to support yourself. Even if you don't need to, why not? Bring yourself back up to seated. Pause and take a breath. Brush it off if you want to or need to. All right. So let's walk our feet wide again. And feet forward a little bit. So this particular place that we're going, you might want to scoot your booty a little bit further back in your chair. And I'm going to lift my toes off the ground to start, heels on the floor. This is a little bit of core strengthening, but I also like to think of it as a way to feel our own power. So arms up and over, 5-pointed star. Some people might call this like a frog pose, especially if you keep your heels on the ground. You can stay right here. Or if you want, if you're feeling strong, lift your feet up, look up wherever you are, take 5 deep breaths. You can always bring those heels back down if you need a little break. Soften your shoulders. Breathe into your power. And then let's release, come back down. That doesn't sound very hard, right? Because we're sitting in a chair, but that takes a little bit of core strength to stay there. And if you start feeling a little shaking while you're doing that, you're not alone, okay? All right, let's bring our feet back in towards each other, about hips width distance apart, and walk ourselves down into that forward fold one more time. Again, wherever you want to be, maybe that's elbows or forearms to your thighs, letting your head hang here is a good forward fold. Or if you want to go further, please feel free. Let's just take 2 breaths right here. And then come all the way back up. Nice and slow. walking our feet in if they made their way out a little bit further. All right, let's do some warriors real quick. Well, not real quick, but the last of our powerful feeling poses here. So walk your left foot over to the side, and then the next part will really be up to you. You can either let your right knee bend and kind of, well, it depends on the floor, how far the floor is away. You could always support yourself with a book under your knee, but it usually is a little more supported, and you can move easier if that left cheek or left sit bone is still on your chair, but the right one is free here. All right, so you can keep this leg bent, or if you want to stretch it out behind you and plant the outside edge of your right foot down on the floor, there's warrior 2 for you. Either way, we can do this. Let's take our arms out to the side, arms over the legs, strong warrior arms, and think about that core strength that that inner power that we just used in our 5-pointed star or frog. Take 2 breaths here. Maybe you take 1 breath with your knee bent and then 1 with your leg outstretched. And then slowly release. Bend your back knee first. Bring your legs back in. Maybe a little bit of windshield wiper action with the knees would feel good here. And again, let that go off your body, off your mind, especially those more intense places. And then let's check out the other side. So this time our right leg will come out to the side. Left knee bends. We'll kind of scooch over so that our right sit bone is still on the chair, but the left one is free. You could stay here or stretch your leg out behind you, a little to the side, outside edge of the left foot, pressing down so that leg feels nice and long. Warrior 2 arms over the legs. Find your gaze over your right fingertips. Take 2 good breaths here. And then slowly release. We'll bend the left knee first and then come back to center. Again, a little bit of windshield wiper action might feel good. Just letting your knees drop side to side a few times. And then coming back to a comfortable seat. At this point, if you would like to scooch back further in your chair and feel the support of the back of the chair, or maybe the wall behind you if your chair doesn't have a back. Notice how your body is feeling. Where are you feeling sensation right now? Are there any places that are really talking to you where you might feel some of the shapes that we just made with our bodies kind of clinging or hanging on to you? And if so, you can brush that off. You can shake it out, off your body, off your mind. And then let's find a comfortable way to rest. So if you're at home or in a place where you feel comfortable laying down, you certainly can do that. If you would like to stay in your chair, or maybe you need to stay in your chair, then that's fine too. So whatever position your body is in, whatever position you're taking, let's pause and notice all the supports underneath our body, just like we started. So maybe that's the floor. Maybe that's your chair. Maybe that's the wall behind you. I invite you to close your eyes if you're in a safe space that you feel like you can close your eyes in. Notice the surface under your hands. Maybe it's the backs of your hands, your palms, you choose. Whether that's fabric or the floor. Notice the texture under your hands. Let's finish with 3 really good breaths. We'll do some breathing down into the diaphragm. So our inhale breath will be focused lower in our body than our chest. You could take a hand to your belly or just to the low rib area. And when you're ready, take a big inhale breath and expand your belly, your ribs, like you're trying to press gently into your hand. And then exhale. Allow everything to soften. Inhaling, feeling that expansion side to side, front to back. Exhaling as you soften. One more big breath like that. And then if your hand is on your belly, release your hands and arms, rest them in a way that feels comfortable to you. Again, palms up might be open to receiving. Palms down might be if you need a little bit of grounding or settling. So you choose. And if you still feel some places in your body somewhere that might be a little grippy or feel like they're tense, I invite you to breathe to those areas or to tense and release those areas. So squeezing into the muscles wherever you're feeling that sensation, squeeze and release. And then can you think of one thing that you can do for yourself today if you're feeling anxious or if you're feeling scared? One thing that you can do for yourself today if you're feeling anxious or if you're feeling scared. That might be something as simple as returning to your breath, bringing your attention to your own breath. Let's practice that for just a moment. So as you inhale, we'll breathe in trust. And as you exhale, we breathe out fear. Inhaling, breathing in trust. Exhale, breathing out that fear. And all fear is a sign that we've been relying maybe a little too much on our own strength. Whether we've been trying to do too much on our own without accepting help from others. Or maybe just not able to trust in a greater power. We breathe in trust. And we breathe out fear. When you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, or move your wrists, your ankles, maybe up to the elbows and knees. Gently open your eyes when you're ready. I invite you to bring your palms together and give them a little rub back and forth so you feel some warmth and some friction. Bring your thumbs to your sternum, to your heart, and notice your heartbeat. Thank you so much for having me and for joining me for yoga today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, Beth. Have a good day.
Thanks, Sarah. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.